Welcome to the Racing Line, the show we talk everything Formula One, including stuff from real life and also the game. I'm your host for today, Hayden Gullis, joined by Dirk Chocolate. And coming up in today's show, we're going to be talking about the recent Japanese Grand Prix, diving into what to expect in USA. We've also had the esports event 2 this week. We're going to be talking about race 4, 5 and 6 and over in the game. We've got some really exciting news coming up, including some updates to cars and a brand new driver. And then finally, a chance for you guys at home to beat us on the F1 22 game. But without any further ado, let's break into our race reactions.
So we have just had the Japanese Grand Prix, it was a week ago now, and we've got the USA Grand Prix coming up. But the Japanese Grand Prix, the race that got Max Verstappen his second Drivers' Championship, but in a very interesting way because it wasn't clear for everyone, but he got it in the end after a big mistake from Charles right on the final corner of the race. But a wet race, red flags were out, went from wets to inters, I'm pretty sure it went to dries as well. It was a very, very interesting race, but after everyone had their coffees in Europe anyway, if you're in Asia, you're fine. It was very, very, very good. One of probably the most enjoyable races so far. Hayden, your thoughts, mate?
I completely agree with everything you've just said. I mean, the red flag meant and the delay meant that the race took a while to get going. But once it got going, it was actually a really fun race. Yes, okay, we didn't necessarily have that battle for the lead that we have enjoyed so many times this season, but there was a lot of battles and a lot going on lower down the field. Of course, the battle between Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso on the final lap, those two separated by 11 thousandths of a second. So for me, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. The delay kind of takes it down a little bit, and of course not having a battle for the race lead, but it was a really fun race to watch for me. Yeah,
no, I agree with you. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it on TV, but for the guys that got to see it post race and the clips that were posted after, it was literally by, I think, a couple of hundreds, if even that, thousands of separation between them. So yeah, really interesting race. For me, I think if I forget about the end where no one knew if Max had won it or not, it was an 8 out of 10 race. Some issues that need to be fixed that I won't touch on too much because it's still a bit controversial, but yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. So the next race we've got in the calendar is the USA, which they may possibly round off the constructors as well. Red Bull clearly having the season that they've needed for a long time, but the US Grand Prix, I don't know what to expect about this one, because now that the pressure's off Max, we might see other drivers starting to come into fruition. I'm still expecting him to win easily, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. What do you think, Hayden? What are you expecting?
I don't think Max is going to let off. He's got the car underneath him, so whilst you have a car that is currently doing the best that it possibly can, it's going to give you the best opportunity to get as many wins as you possibly can as well, to get closer, of course, to Lewis, who holds the record for that at the moment. But I think we're going to see the Constructors' Championship wrapped up unless we have a disaster from Red Bull. If they get 3rd and 4th and Ferrari are 1st and 2nd, then Red Bull are Constructors' World Champions. So that's probably what we're going to see, but hopefully an exciting race. USA is never really much of a bore fest. It can rain there as well, so I'm excited for it.
Hopefully we do get another wet race because I really do enjoy them. But let us know in the comments of what you think will happen in the next Grand Prix. The top 3, I want to know what your thoughts are going to be. But for now, that was the race reactions. Going over into the pit lane with Hayden.
What is new on the F1 22 game? Well, there has been a recent update and the F2 2022 cars are here. You can now drive as Felipe Drugovich in his championship-winning car, or maybe you want to try out one of the rookies of Logan Sargent, Jack Doohan, or even the man who's gone from F1 Esports to F2, Jem Bullock-Bassey. They are now all in the game. Other updates that you may be interested in as well: the McLaren livery that they were running in Singapore and Japan is also in the game. Various features and updates have been fixed as well, so you can look into that. But there was something that I want to put my hands up for this, okay? Because in the last episode, we talked about what would we like to see in the podium pass. I said that, you know what, it'd be cool if we have a classic driver. Well, either they've listened to me or I'm an absolute genius. But Mika Hakkinen, the 2-time world champion, is in the F1 22 game, but only for a limited time. So between October 17th and November 7th. So right now, he is currently in the game. So make sure you go over to F1 22 if you want to go get Mika Hakkinen and go and check him out. As well as the Podium Pass Season 3 is up as well. Liveries, helmets, race suits, all of that stuff is now in the game as well. So if you want to go and unlock all of those, go check them out.
So we've just had F1 Esports Event 2 in Austria, Belgium and Zandvoort, and well, to be fair, probably one of the most entertaining ones that we've had in a long time. We've had wet races, battles throughout the entire week, but let's just go straight into Austria, where Thomas Ronhart got his first win of the season in his rookie season as well, beating Freddie in P2 and Josh in P3. Josh getting his first podium as well after transferring from McLaren. So Thomas is really showing what he's got now, and I think a lot of teams will be looking at him for the future, but right now it was really exciting to see a rookie driver just take that podium. And then in Belgium again, it was a heated battle. Freddie once again in the battle for the podium, but Barry just got one over him this time in the final laps leading up to it. Great battle between them two, some fierce fighting, but we saw Barry take it for his first ever podium and win. I don't know if it's first podium, but first win in F1 Esports for McLaren as well. And Freddie getting P2 again, with Josh up in the podium for P3, Josh being consistent. So next time we see him drive, I'm really hoping to see him get in the podium once again. Over into Zandvoort after that, a wet race, our first wet race. No, is it a first or second? Was it wet in Austria? I don't think it was, wasn't it?
It was wet in Austria, yeah.
Yeah, it was wet.
So second wet race.
Second wet race of the season, but an interesting race because it was just a mix of strategies across the board. Half the grid was on wets, half the grid was inters. We didn't know which strategy was better until halfway through the race, but clearly the wet start was the better strategy. They got a great lead. Lucas just completely ran away with the race, with Freddie getting a podium, but after having to battle really hard once again to get that P2 position. And we had Barry getting P3, so a double podium for the McLarens. They're having a really strong season so far.
Yeah, I think a really enjoyable event on the whole. All three of those races were incredible. Of course, you had the wet weather in Austria, made it exciting. The great battle between Barry, and if you haven't seen it, the pure elation from Barry when he won his first race. The whole team around him, such a wholesome moment. And then Zandvoort was just crazy. You had drivers on wets, you had drivers on inters. People slipping and sliding all over the place. There was a guy who started 16th, was up to 5th on the first lap. Thomas as well, from the last on the grid, managed to get points, which is unheard of in F1 Esports. So an incredible race, which now leaves Lucas Blakely the top of the Drivers' Championship. And McLaren ahead in the constructors. It's very exciting for me, and I loved every single moment of it.
Yeah, you present the F1 Esports show as well now. You are prime time Hayden Gullis. So I think it's interesting because obviously you can watch from Twitch or YouTube or on Sky, and it's like you don't get the same atmosphere. But I was at the Red Bull factory this weekend, and I got to see how intense it is in those conditions for them. And what's the pressure like when you're actually over at the Gfinity presenting? I want to know what it's like as an insight. Give me some scoop, Hayden.
Do you know what? It's so chilled. You've got everybody there just nice and relaxed, eagerly awaiting the action that's going on, and it's just a very chilled vibe. We all love what we're a part of as well. So very enjoyable experience to be a part of the F1 Esports Pro Championship show. And hopefully I'm going to be back again for Event 3, but we've just got to wait and see on that one.
Hopefully you're back there. Hopefully I'll be back with Red Bull, and obviously we're going to see Tom at Alpine. Shaping up very nicely in terms of kind of getting different perspectives. But yes, that was the esports rundown. Let us know who you're thinking is going to win this championship, because at the moment it's looking like Lucas, but Freddie and the Red Bulls are there just sneaking in on the constructors as well. But yeah, let us know down in the comments.
On to Challenge Accepted, the part of the show where you guys at home can beat us on the F1 22 game. Last time, we did a challenge at the Japanese Grand Prix, which was beaten by a guy called Routanius. Thank you very much for sending in your clip. Well done to you. You beat all of us. Congratulations. We're not salty at all, okay? But the challenge for this week with the F2 2022 cars now on the game, we thought it was only fitting, didn't we, Dirk? That we should do a challenge using those cars at the USA GP, not in Miami, but in Austin. So make sure you go and do that. And let's see what our hot laps had in store. Here we go then for a hot lap of the Circuit of the Americas in the brand new F2 2022 cars.
And I'm braking on the right of the black board. Blind apex for me. I have no idea where it is. I'm just having to guess, really.
Into the second corner, nice and tight through there. Then into the difficult S's part. Really chuck the car in and just hope that it's going to grip up. Don't invalidate, of course.
And then just a little bit of lifting here. Again, trying to hit the apex, get the power down. Try not to scrub as much speed as possible. This isn't the best lap in the world, but as you can see, I am fighting the car quite a bit.
But we got through there fine. We're already 1 second up on our banker lap time that we did earlier. Now we're already cut across this little apex on the inside. Get a nice exit off that corner.
And then got a little bit of breathing space here as we go into the straight before the left-hander. I'm going to use like it's just after the 150. But there's like a yellow marker board on the right. I don't know if you saw it there. Third gear. Again, hit the apex early on the throttle.
And again, use all of the curb that you can really get away with. These F2 cars around here actually feel really nice to drive. I was expecting the downforce to be horrible, like trying to steer a boat.
Seems to be the beauty spot here. I'm going to go wide a little bit. That's absolutely fine. Still managed to hold it together. This car is really fun. Flat throughout this entire section. You just need to make sure you get the line right. Again, I have absolutely... See, I am human.
1 corner left to go. Take it nice and easy. I don't want to invalidate now. Wide on the exit. And that is a lap around USA in an F2 1:45.536. That is a brilliant lap. Let's go.
That last sector could do with a lot of work. A 1:47.3.
Those were our hot laps then for the US GP in the F2 cars. Remember, if you think that you can beat us at home, send in your clips using the hashtag #TheRacingLine over on social media. And make sure you follow the @Formula1 game on social media for more news. And whilst you're at it, subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and we will see you very soon. Bye-bye.